Hey guys, so my latest project, I want to put a newer style stereo in the car. I want to have some tunes in the car now. I've owned it about 7 months and I've got the original AM FM radio in the front which all works. So my plan is to keep that, just have a dash speaker for that one because I don't really use the radio. I've got a couple of speakers at the side of the centre console, and I've got one speaker in the rear shelf, but the passenger side one, it hasn't been cut out. The sound deadening or whatever's under that package tray hasn't been cut out for the other speaker, so I'm going to cut that out so I can mount two shelf 6x9s under there out of sight. I'll have to run an additional speaker cable as well, and then I'll decide where I'm going to put the new stereo. I'm thinking you can get like an adapter that goes in the mat pocket in the centre console, so that's a possibility, because I don't want to take the original AM FM one out and I don't want to do anything where I cut anything up, so it's a reversible. I just want whatever I do to be able to be swapped back or taken out and you'll never know it's been put in. So that's an option, or I might go with it underneath the dash, but I don't know how much leg room is going to be. I've already put a new glove box liner in the car because someone had previously put a stereo in there, but I don't want to be chopping that about. So yeah, I'm just going to crack on and get the speaker situation sorted first. Yeah, one thing at a time. Alright, so I've got the rear package tray out the way, and I've cut that old material out for the passenger side speaker now. I'm just going to mark the holes so I can put some mounting studs. So I'll probably just put some small bolts through there, bolt them up on the underside, and then I've got some studs ready for the passenger side speaker, and then I'll put it all back together. So I've got some studs mounted in there, washers, top and bottom. I've bolted them in up underneath there. And then I can put my speaker up and then put some more nuts under that. So I'm just going to run a speaker cable. I know the nuts sit up, I've looked, the nuts don't sit up that much higher than that black material. And the package tray is quite stiff as well, so it shouldn't show any lumps in the package tray when I put it back in, but I'll have a look. But yeah, so far so good. So I got the package tray back in, wired in an additional speaker cable. Package tray back in. I've re-glued the foam edge up under there along there. So that's all stuck back down. The vinyl bit here is just held in place by the seat, so I'm not going to glue that. It wasn't glued before, it was just literally the foam that was glued to the sound deadening, so I'll yeah, get the seats back in now and give you another update in a bit. Right, so I got all the back together again. I did end up gluing that little fold of vinyl down in the end along with the foam. I just used some contact adhesive and just sprayed both sides, let it tack up and then glued it back in place. I know the seat holds it in place, but just sort of glue it in while I'm there. So I've run my speaker cable, just got that hanging out here, so I'm going to put that in under the carpet at some point. But yeah, got it all back together and cleaned. I also had a bit of carpet missing down there, hadn't been cut in very well. You probably can't see it very well in this light, but you could see the silver sound deadening through that gap. And what I did under the passenger side rear seat, there was loads of excess carpet, so I cut a section out from under there where you don't see it and just filled in a bit down here. It just looks better looking down that gap and you don't see the silver sort of foil type sound deadening. So yeah, so everything's all clean and put back together and hoovered out. And I'm off to go and buy some speakers now, some 6x9s, and get them fitted. Right, it's the next day. I finished getting my new speakers in, so they're in. The driver's side, and then the new one on the passenger side. It's not a great deal of room between the speaker and the spare wheel, but you can get spare wheel in and out okay. Not that I'll probably use it, but and I've just clipped the cable up nice and neatly so you don't see it. So when you look down in the boot, it's all nice and tidy, and I've run the cable underneath the carpet along the sill plate, and then up under the centre console for now. When I come to fit the stereo, obviously I'll take the centre console out because I'm going to go with the map pocket adapter. I think that's the best way of doing it. So when I get that out to put a stereo in, I can finish sort of routing the new speaker cable under there. Probably do it under the carpet. So yeah, that's it for now. Speakers are in. The driver side speakers wired up at the moment to the AM FM radio. But yeah, my plan is, so once I get new stereo, I'll wire the 6x9s into that. And I'm just still deciding yet whether to leave the little front speakers in the centre console just plugged into the AM FM radio. I'd like it still to work, but yeah, I'll see what the sound is once I've got the 6x9s. I'm not looking for a crazy amount of sound and loads of bass, but I just want some tunes in the car. So if the 6x9s together are good enough, then I'll probably just wire those front ones into the AM FM radio. So when I do car shows, you can sort of show it works. But yeah, so that's it for now. Right, it's about a week later. I've got all the wiring loom ready for my new stereo. I've got a Sony head unit. I've just taped this up at the moment because obviously I've got permanent live. So yeah, all wired in. I've put some inline fuses up in the dash for my permanent and switchable lives to the head unit. Got my rear speakers wired in. So next job is I'm going to take the centre console out, get that map pocket out. I've got the new one arriving in a few days time. So yeah, I'm just going to strip the centre console out, get all the cable in, speaker cable sort of tied up properly under the console, and get the say map pocket out ready for the new one which arrives in about 4 days. So yeah, see you in a bit. Centre console's out. I'm going to just tidy up a bit of the wiring while it's easier to, and cable tie it up. Most of it's going to sit under the console where I won't see it, but I might as well take the opportunity while I'm here just to tidy some of it up. Got a couple of other little jobs to do under the dash anyway. And yeah, so centre console's out. I just got to take the map pocket out. There's 2 screws at the back and there's another couple underneath it. So I'll strip that out and then I can set my garage till my new part arrives. So yeah, bit of progress. And I'm just waiting for the new bit to arrive now, and I'll update you further. Cheers. Right, so I've got the adapter bracket in. It replaces the original map pocket. These two holes at the top weren't drilled, so I've had to drill those myself, and I've put a couple of the captive little brackets behind it just to hold it. There's a bit of a gap at the bottom there as well, and I'm hoping by the time I put the stereo in, there's a plastic trim that goes around there, so that should hide it. So I'm going to offer it up into the car in a minute and have a look. So, but yeah, that's the replacement map pocket for a stereo. I'll see how it looks once I get the centre console in. Centre console's all back together. Got me wiring harness there ready to plug straight in the back of the stereo. Connected up the little speakers under there for my original AM FM radio. So now just a case going to get the stereo, hook it up and reconnect the battery and see where we go. Right, so stereo's all in and working. I'm not going to play any music through it because of copyright issues. But that runs my 6x9s in the back, which all runs off my Bluetooth now on my phone. So I've got my phone holder over there, Bluetooth my sounds to that one. I do have the AM FM radio that works separately, so that's all still good. Generally pretty pleased with this map pocket adapter that you get for these 2nd gen Firebirds, although it does have a little gap along the bottom there, which I'm going to have to sort out something because I can't live with that. I'll either put a little bit of trim in or something, but I'll worry about that another day. But yeah, generally pleased with the adapter. I mean, from the start, what I wanted to do, or what I didn't want to do, was start chopping dashboards about, or glove boxes, or doing something that you couldn't reverse. So with this, I've not done any permanent damage to the car. I've retained the originality of the AM FM radio. If I ever want to take this out, I'll just take it out, put the original map pocket back in. But yeah, I'm probably ever going to take it out. I wanted obviously to have my tunes in the car. So yeah, generally really pleased with it. It's yeah, it's obviously hands-free as well, so for phones and stuff like that, it's answering calls, that's quite handy as well. But yeah, what I'll probably do is run a USB lightning lead under the dash somewhere that comes out under here, just around my phone holder. But yeah, so it's taken me a couple of weeks. I know on the videos it all looks really quick, but it has taken me a couple of weeks to do all the various jobs, order the parts up. I do have a DAB hidden antenna coming as well for this, so I do have that cable out ready to be wired in, so I'll hide that up under the dash somewhere where I don't see it, so at least I can get more radio channels from my modern stereo if I want. I'll only pick a few up on the original AM FM one. Okay, so I've made up a little bit of plastic trim to go in the bottom where the gap was. I won't be able to live with that gap, I know it'd annoy me. So I had an old stereo bracket for suspending one under a dashboard, so I sort of cut a bit of that out and filed the corners so they're curved. And I just think it just tidies up the bottom now, so it just looks a bit better than having a big gap at the bottom. So as I said before, it's on the whole I'm pretty pleased with the bracket, other than the gap at the bottom there. But making that little bit of plastic up tidies it up really nicely. So yeah, just got the DAB antenna left to wire in when that comes, hopefully tomorrow, and then all done. So I've got my internal DAB antenna that I'm going to start fitting this morning to my new stereo. So obviously just your aerial lead in the back of the stereo, 12 volt supply which should connect up to the antenna lead on the back of the stereo. So I've already got a connection ready for that, and then I'll get this end put in first, and then find somewhere under the dash that I can hide that, and then it's an earth connection it needs. So I'm going to start just fitting this end in first, leave it in the footwell, and then find out where to stick it in the dash.